tell me about your journey and how you got to where you are right now.
Yeah, so funny enough, my journey really kind of starts with you. Not starts with you, but it has a lot to do with you. So yeah, I went to college at Miami of Ohio, Miami University, the real ones in Ohio. But I was a pre-med major there for 2.5, 3 years and realized this is not what I wanted to do. My goal was to work in sports surgeries. But after 3 years, I was like, I don't have the passion for this. So I wanted to stay in the sports field in a sense. So I navigated and found my major of sports leadership and management. From there, I applied to a football position where it was doing coaches video with the Miami football team. And a guy by the name of Kyle Crone hired me there.
Shout
And I was
out.
pretty much shout out to Kyle Crone. We'll get back to him later. So he gave me the job. I was doing coaches video, so pretty much pushing record button over 1,000 times at practice, and then giving coaches video for them to break down for games and such. From there, I kind of got really bored with it and knew I had a kind of higher calling. So I remember the day I asked Kyle kind of to do a little bit more. He used to make the highlight tapes that the football team would watch on Friday night before the Saturday games to get amped up. And I liked what he was doing. So I asked him kind of teach me a little bit. And eventually the responsibility grew and grew. And I ended up doing the videos myself for the team. And that's really where it just continued to blossom. From there, I started taking photos and videos on the field during games with my buddy Jordan Harold. And we just continued to grow. And then from there, we got into social media. Um, After graduating Miami, I left Miami and then applied for the job with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was an internship of social media. I had very little social media background, but I had pretty much everything else in my arsenal and said, what's the worst that could happen? I'll apply to the Steelers, being from Cleveland, Ohio. Uh, the worst they could say is yes, and then have to be a Steelers fan. And went through the interview process with Zach, and he was crazy and offered me the position. And to say the rest is history, the rest is history because, like I said, I had little social media background. But after I was given the opportunity, I kind of told myself every day, prove why you should be here. And every day I proved that I should be here and got better at it each day. Became a sponge in that department that I was with, learned from photo, video, graphics, social media, digital, kind of took all of that and decided to be a Swiss Army knife in everything that I did. So I had a photo background, I had a video background, I had a social media background, I had a graphics background. So anything that they needed, I was able to say yes, I can do it. So from there, I spent 2.5 years with the Steelers, and then this guy comes calling back up and saying he has a position. Most likely, would I be interested? And without even hesitating, I said yes. Get me out to Arizona. So shortly after that, I got the call on June 1st of 2021 that I had been offered the job with the Arizona Cardinals, and I was there July 9th. A month later, I moved to Arizona, became the social media coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, and kind of finally got to learn from Zach after he left me after a month in Pittsburgh. But it was great. We got to work together. We had a very strong team. We developed a lot. A lot of our ideas finally came to life that we thought were going to come to life in Pittsburgh and continue to grow and grow. And then on June 1st, the following year, that's why I know the date.
Yeah.
Zach left me. Zach left me and moved back to Pittsburgh. But um, my journey's been the same since then. Still with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm now the social media specialist here, um, and still running social. So,
So,
like I
man,
said, it starts with Zach. Doesn't technically start with Zach, but Zach has to do a lot of it. So, forever grateful for Zach and his leadership and mentorship to me.
for sure, man. Well, I honestly, I can't take credit. I probably would have been crazy not to hire you at that point. It's just, there's always been something about you that's bigger than, skills or talent or anything like that, which you have a ton of, but it's just, the person you are. And, I've always known you're going to be successful more and more and more and, overtake me at some point here. And, it's just about, getting that opportunity. And I'm glad I could at least be a little bit of that awesome journey that you have.
Definitely appreciate it. If you weren't the starter, you were definitely igniter. You
Yeah.
definitely ignited a lot. So very grateful for you and kind of every step we've had along the way and whatever next. Who